thing what we see, and we would see the virtual image through that device. But perhaps it only comes up when you are signed in as Sarah, and otherwise it's not there. So
Well,
I'm not sure.
I can make it go away right now. It's like it's optional. So this is like my house,
Of course.
and then I can make it pop back, and I can see it because I can see me. It's fun.
All right.
Hi, Dave.
Hi guys.
Are you happy where you are, or would you like an invitation to the meditation room?
Well, I'm supposed to be in the meditation room, but I've been having some technical difficulties.
I gotcha.
So if you could put me in the meditation room, I'd appreciate it.
Luke is on it right now.
Thank you.
Sarah, you can put me in there as well, if you don't mind.
Do please. Invitation en route.
Thank you.
Hi, Sarah. I love that background.
Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow.
Morning. Leanne, you're on mute.
I like that background. That is so cool.
It's awesome.
Thank you guys.
It's really awesome.
I didn't make it. I didn't. I wish I made it. One day I will create things like this, but for now I just find them and love them.
Oh, so fabulous.
Thank you.
Where did you get that, Sarah?
It was online. I liked the image, so I saved it to my computer and then just made it the background because it's so pretty. Why not?
Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Thank you. Well, it's a hit. I'm glad I picked it. Thanks. How's your guys' weekend so far?
It's been going good.
Quiet, nice.
It is good. Nice is good. My mom moved back to New Mexico, and she sent me a photo yesterday of the most beautiful rainbow, and I'm like, see, it's nice there.
Where did you move to?
She moved back to Albuquerque, New Mexico. They were visiting when COVID happened, and so they were like just kind of staying in Virginia until going back to New Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Good morning.
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 Morning. You call that New Mexico place home? That's where you from, Sarah, originally, or not
No,
necessarily?
I'm originally from Virginia, but my dad got a position in Albuquerque for a couple of years. So that's why they are living there probably 2 more years until they come back.
Hi, I spent some time there. It's beautiful there.
It is. Only there for a quick second. Going back.
Were you there for the balloon festival?
Oh, I wish. I actually was there last August is when they moved. So I helped do the drive from Virginia to New Mexico, and then I flew back. But yeah, my parents went to the balloon festival and it was beautiful. And I definitely want to go, oh, they're here. They can hear us talking about them. Their ears must be
Hi.
Hi. You're up so early.
Okay, yeah, really early. That's why I'm not on video.
Hey, good morning.
It is really beautiful here. It's like 64 degrees. We've had 2 nights consecutive downpours, thunderstorms, and before they started, giant rainbows over the Sandias. I mean, I like it here, you guys. It's nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, but I'm going to turn our camera off now.
No problem.
Thanks.
Love you.
Love you too.
And we're all here.
Hey, bagels.
here's Reverend Bill with your God call.
Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean. Well, no, actually, you don't know what I mean, because I'm not saying what I mean. You know, it's really important to say what we mean, and if we don't know how to say it, then it's probably because we don't know what we mean. So when that situation comes up for you, it's an invitation to stop. Take a breath. Go within and figure out exactly what it is you're trying to say, and let the words organize themselves.
Go on, lay your troubles down. Set your feet on solid ground. Peace deep as I have found. I wanna follow you. Come on, all you weak and weary. Come around so you can hear me. Poor, sick, and God fearing. I wanna follow you. Said I wanna follow you. Leave all of your troubles, leave all of your sorrow. Sit down in your burden. Come on and follow. Come on, heavy laden. Don't wait for tomorrow. Come on, my brother. Come on, follow. Go on, leave your worries too. Not a bit of good they do. There's a word that's coming through. I wanna follow you. So I call your name in the middle of the night. Wanna know I can hear your cries. June heat and moonlight. I wanna follow you. Said I wanna follow you. So leave all of your troubles, leave all of your sorrow. Sit down in your burden. Come on and follow. Come on, all you weak and weary. Come around now, you can hear me. Come on, my brother. Come on and follow.
Thank you, Alyssa, and welcome everybody to New Thought Philadelphia's online celebration. We are delighted that you are all here, and I am honored to be in your virtual presence and consciousness, I hope. Please say after me, I open myself to joy.
I open myself to joy.
I open myself to love.
I open myself to love.
I open myself to the awareness of the good surrounding me.
I open myself to the awareness of the good surrounding me.
And I know love is right here, right now.
I know love is
right here, right now. Right here, right now.
And so it is.
And so it is.
It is. There's going to be a day when I get used to Zoom lag and the cacophony of voices that happens right after you say repeat after me. And it is wonderful. Just delighted. I'm Reverend Dave Schbach. Our music today is by the absolutely brilliantly delightful Alyssa Garcia. Yay, Alyssa. So grateful you're here today. And up next is Reverend Bill Marcioni.
Thanks, Dave. And just because we're on Zoom and it has the weird thing that it does with audio, we ask that everybody leave your audio muted for the most part. If there's a time to share, then you can unmute yourself. And of course, at the end, we will have the opportunity to unmute and do the Zoom cacophony one more time. New Thought Philadelphia is an open and loving community of spiritual adventurers, welcoming each person to experience their divine nature in an empowering space or hyperspace of unconditional love. Whatever path you've been on, whatever has brought you to our Zoom today, wherever you're heading next, we have been expecting you. And welcome home. At New Thought Philadelphia, we believe that there is one power, love, intelligence, or force that creates everything, including each of us, and that we each use that same power, love, intelligence, or force to create our lives according to our beliefs. The way we say it for short, our new life begins with a new thought. If you have extra electronic devices that are going to distract you, go ahead and turn them off so we can focus inward for the next hour or so. And we're going to begin our celebration the way we begin everything, with a practical prayer. Our practitioner of the day, our pod, is Breen Rourke. RSCP, who will do our opening prayer.
Thank you, Bill. Good morning, everyone. So I invite you to just to take a minute and detach, if you can, from all the technology and the busyness and whatever it took to get here now, and just be here now in the awareness of one power, one presence, one infinite creative energy that created everything that is, was, and ever shall be. The entire universe is that creative force. So I know that I and each one here and each one listening and everyone everywhere is an expression of that one. We are all unique individual expressions of the infinite creative force of life. And all the good, all the beauty, all the joy and wonder of the universe is inherent in each of us now and always. So I know that good is expressed here as this celebration, the words, the music, the ideas, the inspiration is all an expression of the one. It is God in action as New Thought Philadelphia. This time together is blessed, and I am grateful for it, grateful for the good overflowing, filling all our buckets, all our pails, all our 55-gallon drums to overflowing with more good and more good. So with love and gratitude, I know this is true, and I claim this good now and release this word into the creative law, knowing that it is so, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Breen. Now, the reason that we do a practical prayer is not to appease God or impress God. It's actually to create a change in our experience. So if there is somebody who has been doing some prayer work and you have a prayer works story about a new result that came in your life, we'd love to hear about it. Just show your hand, you can unmute and tell us about it. Go ahead, Breen.
So I've got two. One is mine directly, and one is a shared one from Jane. So I'll share that one first. She wanted to make sure that I shared this. Over the weekend, we drove up to the Poconos for a little weekend getaway. And one thing we like to do when we're driving is we play the alphabet game, where you have to find a word on a sign or a car or a truck that starts with every letter of the alphabet. And she started with A, and that always leaves me with Z. But there was one point, I forget what letter Jane had. I think it was a Q, and we'd already passed Quakertown, so that was out. And she said, I know I will find the word in the next 5 miles. 3 miles later, she found whatever I forget what it was, but it was a difficult one. And then we were towards the end, I had Z, and I said, I'm going to find Z. It's just going to come like right now. And then there was a no passing zone and Zern dentistry. So it worked out well. And then the other story, I shared it with some folks. I have my puzzle. It's a tricky triangle where you take the golf pegs and jump over stuff, and then you remove a peg every time you jump one till you get one peg left. And I've been trying this for years, and the closest I could get was 2. And last weekend, I think it was, I sat down and said a full practical prayer about solving the puzzle. And then minutes after that, I solved the puzzle for the first time ever in my life. And I've been able to repeat that on 2 occasions. So prayer does work, because I worked for years on this puzzle and couldn't get it. In 2 weeks, I've solved it 3 times. There it is. Big stuff, little stuff, puzzles, signs, it's all there.
God knows how to solve the puzzle. There you go. Somebody else? A prayer work story? I'll share one with you. We do the meditations twice a day at 8 and 6, and I record them. And the idea is basically to turn that into a script that I can turn into a full produced meditation. And I've got the whole process worked out for getting all of the voice stuff done. And Luke is helping out with the music on one of them. This is creating the music for it is the part that I'm really not that good at. So kind of putting those pieces together. And I had a recording sitting there for the last 5 or 6 days that was just waiting for music. And I was resistant, but I was open to this is easy and effortless. And I got an email from a guy who saw my meditations on Insight Timer, and he says, I do meditation music and would love to work with you. And oh, by the way, you can go onto my website and download 3 hours of free meditation music. It's like, okay. So the new meditation posted on Friday, and it was as effortless and easy as I would imagine it could possibly be. So prayer, Carol.
Thank you. The micro preemies that were born 8 months ago, and they're now at 5 months adjusted age, or continue to do well. They're, you know, little blips along the way. They're doing well, and I wanted to thank everybody for their prayers.
Thank you so much. Our host today is Joe Catanzaro, who had some announcements for us.
Good morning. Before those slides come up, I just want to mention that we have a survey that will be available at the end of celebration. It's just 4 questions. If you would please fill that out, we'd really appreciate it. So join us for daily online meditation, prayer, and support calls. They're less than 15 minutes. They include a check-in and a meditation on health, harmony, peace, and prosperity. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturday at 9, Sunday at 6 p.m. They're open to all, and you can use the same Zoom meeting as Sunday celebration. Please join our Philly Spiritual Adventures group on meetup.com. There are 199 members, and you could be the 200th. Our community visioning process, it's called Taking Action Beyond White Supremacy, will continue this Monday, July 27th, from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. via Zoom. We've been gathering for life visioning on how we individually and together are letting spirit guide us to the next steps in moving past the experience of white supremacy that our country has been stuck in. Everyone is welcome, even if you were not involved in the earlier sessions. And I can tell you it's a really interesting process to put some real concrete things in place to take action. A couple of classes that are coming up. The Fear to Faith workshop will start on Tuesday, August the 18th. This is a deceptively simple yet powerful process to activate a transformation in a challenging area of your life. 7 to 9 p.m. on Zoom. Workshop fee is $20 or a love offering. And I'm looking forward to taking this. We did some work on this in practitioner study, but always good to keep working on it.
Yeah, and if you find yourself not having any fear to want to transform into faith, then give me a call, please. I want details.
Yeah, me too. Beyond Limits class begins Monday, September the 14th. 10 power pack sessions to introduce the principles and practices of New Thought that will transform your life. And I can say that it really does that. 7 to 9:30 p.m. on Zoom, optionally in person if it's safe, depending on what happens by September 14th. Tuition is $215. Registrations are open online this week. Reverend Bill will lead the teen group at CSL Delaware. Next meeting is Thursday, August 6th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. by Zoom, and is open to all teens. So if you know one or have one that might be interested, let Reverend Bill know and you'll get the details. New Member Sunday is coming up on August 30th with orientation sessions that will follow celebration on August 16th and 23rd. Join your intention with New Thought Philadelphia and become a member. You can contact Reverend Bill or Reverend Dave for more info. We gratefully accept donations and payments via credit card or PayPal. Use the donate button on the website, or you can mail a check to the office in Ardmore. And the address for that is on the website. Thank you to the production team who makes our Zoom celebrations work. There's a short technical rehearsal on Saturday afternoon and a final check-in before the celebration on Sunday. If you'd like to participate, please contact Reverend Bill or Sarah. We'd love to have you.
I'm just going to jump in. This is actually a really fun activity. We have a lot of laughs doing New Thought shorthand. So if you want to come work with us behind the scenes, you're welcome to.
And the reverends and practitioners are available for healing prayer sessions. Contact them through the website. After celebration, the practitioner of the day, which today is Breen, will be available for a short urgent prayer session at no charge. You can reach out to the Zoom chat for a quick breakout with Breen. We'll leave the Zoom meeting on after the celebration for questions and fellowship. Bring your own bagels.
Perfect. Thank you, Joe. And when we're together in person, we like to greet the folks who are there with us for the first time with a special blessing, and also a little gift for people who are there for the second time. Since we're all virtual now and we're not going to get a chance to go around hugging each other anyway, what I'd like to do is just look around at the people who are on the screen. If there's somebody who's here for the first time, go ahead and raise your hand now. And okay, and oh, Hannah, congratulations. You have a hurricane named after you, sort of. Good news, bad news, who can tell? So as Alyssa sings the next song, actually, let's just all rub our hands together and bless everybody who we're seeing on the screen. Generate some warmth, generate some heat, feel that love, then send it out. We are the bright lights of God's love. I'm grateful for the way that we shine the light and share the love. And so it is. Go ahead and connect with your peeps while Alyssa does another song for us.
I, the Lord of sea and sky, I have heard my people cry, all who dwell in dark and sin, my hand will save. I who make the stars of night, I will make their darkness bright. Who will bear my light to them? Whom shall I send? Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? I have heard you calling in the night. I will go, Lord, if you lead me. I will hold your people in my heart. I, the Lord of snow and rain, I have borne my people's pain. I have wept for love of them, they turn away. I will break their hearts of stone, give them hearts for love alone. I will speak my words to them. Whom shall I send? Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? I have heard you calling in the night. I will go, Lord, if you lead me. I will hold your people in my heart.
Beautiful. Thank you, Alyssa. Now we're going to light the flames of faith. And we have Carla Ann reading and Reverend Dave at the Flames Cam.
We perform this ceremony to acknowledge that all people and all faiths come from the one power, love, intelligence, which we call spirit or God. We honor the richness that comes from our shared diversity and bless the interwoven energy of the divine feminine and masculine. We light the first candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the belief and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of the universal spiritual principles. As Reverend Dave lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone or any place you wish to have the experience of the healing flame of God's eternal love.
Blessed be. We now have a reading, which is going to be brought to us by Kathy. You unmute.
Oh, I'm sorry. Today's reading is from The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. The law is infinite and perfect, but in order to make a demonstration, we must have a mental equivalent of the thing we desire. A demonstration, like anything else in the objective life, is born out of a mental concept. The mind is the fashioning factor, and according to its range, vision, and positiveness, there will be circumstances of experience. For example, if one sees only unloveliness in others, it is because unloveliness is a strong element in himself. The light he throws on others is generated in his own soul, and he sees them as he chooses to see them. He holds constantly in his mind a mental equivalent of unloveliness and creates unlovely reactions towards himself. He is getting back what he is sending out. If a man believes himself to be a failure and that it is useless for him to try to be anything else, he carries with him the mental equivalent of failure. So he succeeds in being a failure according to law. This is his demonstration. Having a strong picture or mental concept and holding to that equivalent regardless of circumstances or conditions, we must sooner or later manifest according to the concept. It follows then that the range of our possibilities at the present time does not extend far beyond the range of our present concepts. As we bring ourselves to a greater vision, we induce a greater concept and thereby demonstrate more in our experience. In this way, there is a continuous growth and unfoldment taking place. We do not expect to give a treatment today for prosperity and have $1 million tomorrow, but little by little, we can unfold our consciousness through the acquisition of greater and still greater mental equivalents until at last we shall be made free. The way to proceed is to begin right where we are. It is not scientific to attempt to begin somewhere else. One who understands the systematic use of the law will understand that he is where he is because of what he is, but he will not say, I must remain where I am because of what I am. Instead, he will begin to disclaim what he appears to be. As his statements release wrong subjective tendencies, providing in their place a correct concept of life and reality, he will automatically be lifted out of his condition. Impelling forces sweeping everything before them will set him free if he trusts in spirit and the working of the law.
All of my life, I thought I was right, looking for something new, stuck in my ways like old-fashioned days, but all the roads led me to you. The house that you live in don't make it a home, but feeling lonely don't mean you're alone. The people in life, they will come and they'll leave, but if I had a choice, I know where I would be. Through the lows and the highs, I will stay by your side. There's no need for goodbyes, now I'm seeing the light. When the sky turns to gray and there's nothing to say, at the end of the day, I choose you. Now I found the strength to make a change and look at the magic I found. No matter the name or where you came from, 'cause no one has much figured out. The house that you live in don't make it a home, but feeling lonely don't mean you're alone. I finally found where I feel I belong, and I know you'll be there with wide open arms. Through the lows and the highs, I will stay by your side. There's no need for goodbyes, now I'm seeing the light. When the sky turns to gray and there's nothing to say, at the end of the day, I choose you. Through the lows and the highs, I will stay by your side. There's no need for goodbyes, now I'm seeing the light. Through the lows and the highs, I will stay by your side. There's no need for goodbyes, now I'm seeing the light. When the sky turns to gray and there's nothing to say, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, I choose you.
Thank you so much, Alyssa. It's beautiful, beautiful. I was thinking about a number of things over this past week, and some of it is that I've gotten really clear, and I think a lot of us have, about what we don't want in our lives. It's kind of interesting that it's really easy to focus on what it is we don't want. Anybody have Any difficulty in focusing on what they don't want in their life? Because generally it jumps up in your face and you go, ooh, I really don't want to be here right now. I don't want to be doing this right now. I don't want to be experiencing this right now. And it has a way of working its way into the consciousness. My experience has been that when something unpleasant or challenging or in the realm of I don't want this comes along in my experience, that it has a tendency to chew up quite a bit of gray matter in rolling around all the aspects of it that I really don't like. Whether it was an incident that I replay in my mind over and over again as it shifts from irritating to angering to offensive as it grows in my mind and takes over more and more of my consciousness as I replay it and don't get anywhere. I don't know if other people experience this, but I can spend a while, not as much as I used to, but a while wallowing in the negativity of the challenges that face me, or perhaps it's the hopelessness of something that seems too large for me to handle, or that may seem like there is nothing that I can do about that situation. And, you know, often these are things that have to go on with our society, our community, my personal relationships, whatever they happen to be, and whatever that is for each one of us, it tends to take up a lot of brain power, figuring out what it is that we don't want. But before we can really change that, we actually have to figure out what we do want. Because getting rid of something only leaves a void. And the void will be filled by whatever the greatest consciousness is that comes about to fill it. So if that consciousness is the next negative thing, it's going to fill it with a passion, if we don't have a clear direction on where we want to go with the next thought, with the next activity, with the next journey in our life, perhaps the entire path of our life, if that's what we're looking at. Or it could just be whether or not to have cheesecake or lettuce. Sometimes the decisions can be really difficult in strange areas of our lives. But if we don't know what it is that we want, if we don't have what Holmes was referring to as a clear mental equivalent of where we want to go, we can be assured that we will not get there. As that saying goes, like, do we know where we're going? Not a clue, but we're making really great time. That comes around a lot because sometimes in the activity of life, we can put ourselves out there in a way that is like, I need to move here, I need to go there, I need to do this, I need, without ever asking ourselves what the purpose of the activity is. It's reactive to some condition that has spurred us to try to be active without purpose, other than immediate gratification, perhaps, or a sense of, at least I'm doing something. We're making really great time, but we don't necessarily know where we're going. You see, in developing a mental equivalent is not necessarily an easy task. It requires some discipline of us, and most people don't want to hear that. Discipline? Yeah, we have to decide where it is we want to go. Ultimately, what is the purpose of our lives? And that's a big question. Most of us don't even get to it until we get into our 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s, about what is the purpose of my life when we decide what we're going to be when we grow up. I found myself saying that in my early 50s. I don't know what I'm going to be until I grow up. And how many of us put off the opportunity to explore where we really want to be so that we have purpose in our daily activity as well as our overall journey in life. This is the clear mental equivalent. Now, sometimes on that journey of life, it needs to be incremental. So if we don't have enough food, it's very simple to say, enough food is the purpose of my life right now. And that can be a very demanding purpose and also a very challenging purpose if there's not enough food available or enough money to pay for the food that's available. These are very distinct challenges that we can address in a very short term range. But then what is the purpose behind that? If we elevate ourselves in that particular area to say, I would like to have enough food to eat. And if we take that to the next spiritual level, is I would like there to be enough food for everyone to eat. That becomes a much larger purpose to which to attach our activities and our thoughts. And it requires a greater mental equivalent than what we currently have, because our mental equivalent of life is what we are experiencing right now. It is all the thoughts, feelings, ideas that we have that have led us to this point in our life. And we indeed must start where we are. Because if we don't start where we are, we're just in fantasy land. And New Thought is not about fantasy. New Thought is about harnessing an infinite power of intelligence that indwells each of us for our personalized use in bettering life. Not only for ourselves, it's not only life in the key of me, but it must start there because we all individually experience life as our own. But a greater idea becomes life in the key of we. What is the best for our community? What is the best for our city, our country, our world? As we move beyond that, individualized needs and requirements for a greater expression of life to what creates the greatest expression of life for everyone I know. What creates the greatest expression of life for everyone? And we clarify what that looks like in our mind. So I'm going to go over our 4 clarifying questions, which we got from Robert D. McDonald. And I love these because they're real simple. They start at a personal level, but they can be used at a community level or a societal level, which is, the first one is, do I want the experience that I'm having now? It's a very simple question, and it's a yes or no answer. It's a definitive. It's like not maybe. You have to make a choice, yes or no. If the answer is yes, you're done with this particular area of your life. Go home, have a coffee, put your feet up. If the answer is no, then obviously some work needs to be done. And the first thing that happens in this process is to clarify where we want to go. If I don't want this experience that I'm having now, what experience do I want to be having? And it is worth spending the time and having the discipline to actually sit down in a quiet space, uninterrupted by family, pets, and the TV or various screens that we tend to anesthetize ourselves with, and ask the question, what is it that I want? And get really clear, write it down, type it, whatever it is that works for you to clarify that idea and be specific. Because if we are not specific, then we will get mushy results. It's that simple. The universe only has one answer. The answer is yes. So what we're asking for is what it's saying yes to. So if we're not specific, we will get unspecific results. Once we have determined that this is indeed where I want to go, and please recognize that this can be a moving target. It can be in some portion of your life, or it can be for your whole life, or it could be for your whole community and where you want to be within that. And it doesn't have to remain the same because it is all based on starting where we are now, and we will be somewhere else tomorrow. In fact, we will have grown in the moments that we have done this exercise into a new place, which might require a change in that direction, but it's worth putting a line in the sand by saying, this is what I want right now. The third question is, and this is often difficult because usually when we do these kind of things, we say, I want to be happy. Okay, that's a good goal. It's a really great one. Third question kind of clarifies that a little bit. How will I know when I have it? And our friend Robert suggests that in this, you be very specific with identifiable metrics that says, yes, I can check this off as having been there on this journey towards this new experience. Because quite often in this process where we go through this, what will happen is we will find out that we actually already have it when we look at our lives, because a lot of times what happens is our awareness is not focused on the good that surrounds us. And so it passes us by, yet we feel like there is some lack or limitation in our lives, when in fact the good has been present all along. We have just been unaware of it. And perhaps there are things that you can identify that are not yet happening, that are benchmarks that allow us to recognize that indeed we have evolved to an understanding and a place in our experience where these things that we want, that we desire to have the experience in our life of, have become truth. And we can say, yep, I am there now. Now where do I go? The fourth question is about, why can't I have this right now? And what it is it's recognizing that there are conditions that we are living with in the world. And what we want to do is identify those conditions, whether they are physical conditions, mental conditions, societal conditions, whichever they happen to be, to allow us to recognize and identify the conditions that seem to be holding us back, because those are our mental blocks to having a clear mental equivalent of what it is we want to experience in our lives and what we feel is stopping us from having that. And this is the place where we need to do the work. So having achieved a new understanding of where we want to be and how we want to become that, the next step is to determine whether or not this is the highest purpose to which we can put our lives. Because there is a limited amount of time on this planet for each one of us. And there are many philosophies about how much time that is. I've heard it said that we only have a certain number of breaths, which is an interesting way to gauge one's life. But at some point, we come into this world, and at some point we leave it. And the choice is, what do we do in between those 2 points? Because each life on this planet, think about that, has a specific purpose for being here, is an individualized expression of a divine idea of life in a unique and wonderful form with specific sets of gifts, talents, insights, and awarenesses that are required for life in this very moment by that infinite intelligence, because otherwise it would be some other way. We are each here as a representation of the divine, as spirit living as us to experience itself as us on this planet, every single one of us. Or as they like to say in some circles, God don't make junk. Yet it's so easy for us to set aside that idea when we look at others and judge, when we don't have a purpose that is higher than I need a new car, although a new car is potentially what some of us need. That's okay. When we fill those, then we can move to a level of, you know what, everybody needs sufficient transportation, everybody needs sufficient food, everybody needs sufficient housing, everybody needs sufficient avenues for creative expression, for being able to give their gift to the world. Yet it's easier for us to forget that it is our independent and individual responsibility to ensure that that happens for everyone. That's part of the work. That's part of discerning truth back of the condition. And when I'm talking about truth, I'm talking about the absolute truth of spirit. The absolute truth of spirit is that there is love, an allness of love available now and always to everyone. There's a divine intelligence at work through everything, and it is apparent in anything that we look at that there is some great idea of life unfolding back of this if we're willing to stop and look at it. And there is a unity to all of this that is moving behind all of the apparent individual forms that we see in life. Because in fact, it is all one. It is all happening now as an expression of a divine idea. And we are channels of that consciousness, and we are aware that we can be channels of that consciousness, which allows us to dig into our own magnificence, our own spiritual beauty, our own creativity in whatever form it wants to express itself. And maybe it's been buried so deep for so long that we don't know what that is anymore, but we can find out. We can open the channel, we can unclog the drain and get that spiritual juice, if you will, to bring forward a greater expression of love and life and joy and harmony and an awareness of the infinite abundance that surrounds us and that we live, move, and have our being within. That is available to us right now. And when we have a clear mental equivalent of what it is that we want to experience, mine at the moment is joy, peace, harmony, and a new stove. Because mine just died. And nothing is incompatible with that, you know? Nothing is incompatible with that. Joy, peace, and harmony and a new stove all express greater life for me and mine and somehow everyone. Maybe not the stove part. I can only feed so many people at a time. But I can feed more with the new stove than I can with the one that doesn't work. What a wonderful idea. We can change our awareness and our perception about what we have and what we have to give in any given moment. And until we have a special and unique and clear mental equivalent, we're not ready to pray yet. And that's a really interesting thing to think about. We require a mental equivalent to pray about something for a prayer to be effective. This is all before we've done the first step of prayer. It is all the discipline and individual work that we require of ourselves to live a greater life, to have a clear mental equivalent, to become the highest level of consciousness and the best people that we can be. I'm going to continue doing that. And right now I'm having the clear mental equivalent that everyone on this call and everyone everywhere is a divine and beautiful being. I'm going to recognize that today, and I invite you to do the same. Namaste.
Asleep for so long, I forgot what it was like to be awake. I pray to God that I was wrong, and this is all some big mistake, 'cause I lost a part of me to you that I will never get back. Myself that love was gone, that I'm not worthy of that, but I was wrong. So wake up, I've been waiting for you. I know where you've been. Don't dwell on your sins. Remember the love, let light in your days, and you'll be okay. Hear me when I say you'll find your way. Been searching for the answers in all the wrong places, trying to find truth in the light. But it's hard to know yourself amidst all the temptation. It's hard to know who's wrong and who's right. I lost a part of me to you that I will never get back. Took me years to finally see that I've been under attack. Convinced myself that love was gone, that I'm not worthy of that, but I was wrong. I was wrong, so wake up, I've been waiting for you. I know where you've been, don't dwell on your sins. Remember the love, let light in your days, and you'll be okay. Hear me when I say, there's a plan for you, there's a way, there's a life for you, let it be one. There's a plan for you, let it be done. There's a choice for you, will you choose love? Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. I've been waiting for you. I know where you've been. Don't dwell on your sins. Remember the love, let light in your days, and you'll be okay. Hear me when I say, you'll find your way.
Thank you, Alyssa. That was beautiful. Thank you, Dave, for your inspiration. And now's the time we're going to settle into a bit of meditation. As Bill likes to say, spend some time with the most important person in your life, and that is you. So I was thinking about what Dave was saying, and sometimes it takes time to really settle into some quiet reflection and think about where we are and where we want to be and ask those 4 questions. But something that I think is accessible often is the feeling, how we want to feel when we get where it is we want to be. So I'd like us to take some time today in this meditation to dig into that. So I invite everyone to get comfortable wherever you are. Perhaps sit with your back as straight as possible. And just be here in this moment. I invite you to take a nice, deep, cleansing breath, breathing in fully. And exhale fully. Just allow yourself to relax. Perhaps scan your body. If there's any tension in your neck or shoulders or in your belly, just allow that place to relax. Release and let it go. So we're going to start with our breathing, as we like to do. We're going to take a series of deep breaths. Hold it at the top for just a moment to feel a bit of tension. Exhale fully. With each breath, we're going to relax just a little deeper. We'll do that 3 times. Breathing in. Hold. And exhale. Another deep breath in. Hold. And exhale. One more deep breath in. Hold. And exhale. Just feel yourself relax as you let your breathing return to a gentle, even pace. Feel your breath moving in and out. Feel your lungs filling and emptying. Just relax into that process of giving and receiving. Relax into the flow of life. Allow yourself to become aware of how you will feel when you get that which is what you desire. Perhaps you'll feel loved. Perhaps you'll feel free. Perhaps you'll feel empowered. Perhaps you'll feel connected. Whatever that feeling is, allow it to wash over you. Allow it to fill you. Breathe it in. Breathe in that wonderful feeling that will let you know you have that which it is that you want. Just settle in, be in that feeling now. Allow it to fill you. Know that it is so.
And so I speak this word on behalf of each one on this call, knowing that there is one power, one presence, one life, one mind. It is the unconditioned, taking specific form. It is the allness of love, permeating and saturating everything with the goodness of its being, expressing itself as all that is, knowing itself through and as absolutely everything, from the smallest particle of energy to the vastness of all there is. It is this one life, this one mind. And so I know that I live, move, and have my being as an expression of this divine idea that is life. That at the spiritual level, that idea is perfect, whole, and complete in every aspect. And knowing this of myself, I know this same truth for each one present, that the divine idea that is individualizing in everyone is actually perfect, whole, and complete at the spiritual level, that is moving forward into expression in unique and wonderful ways. And so I claim that infinite intelligence on behalf of everyone on this call, knowing that it is bubbling forward with new ways to express itself, with new ideas to unfold into life, with crystal clarity. It is becoming the love in unique and wonderful ways through the channel of everyone's life. It is harmonizing itself in relationships, in creative expression, in acceptance of its infinite abundance in the form of prosperity, in awareness of its own life that indwells everything and everyone. This is the good that is coming forward now. Something new is unfolding now. Something beautiful is being expressed now. For it is all the divine life coming forward, being itself, being us. And so on behalf of each one on this call, I speak this word of truth, this word of gratitude, this word of thanksgiving for the awareness of the life that is spirit living me, guiding me, showing me the way, as it does for each one of us, providing all of the ideas, all of the awareness, all of the good that is the very essence of its being now. So recognizing this truth and knowing it is already whole and complete, I release this word to the law, that law that has been in effect since the very beginning of time, has all of the intelligence and all of the power required to bring these intentions into being in this moment now, supporting each idea, supporting each creative expression with all of the good of its being. That's what's happening. The law is fulfilling these intentions. And I know it is so. And so it is. So I invite you to take a deep breath. Center yourself back in your room, back in this experience of this moment. And just reflect on what's come back with you as we listen to some more beautiful music by Alyssa.
It's everything I am and what I'm not and all I'm trying to be. This is the part where I spit it all out and you decide what you think of me. I'm not trying to be complicated, I'm never waiting to get the last laugh. But I've been handing out benefits of the doubt, and I'd like a little bit back. It's just a little voice, and if you're listening, sometimes a little voice can say the biggest things. It's just my little voice that I've been missing.
Thank you, Alyssa. So appropriate. I love when all this stuff dovetails together like that. It's just delightful. So this is the time we like to check in with the community, let the posse be the preacher, as Bill likes to say on occasion, and see if anything's come up for anybody they'd like to share with the rest of the community. So if you could just raise your hand and you can unmute yourself, and love to hear from you. Carl-Ann.
Thanks, Reverend Dave. I want to say to Alyssa, the music has been so beautiful. The little voice and the I Choose You. But the Here I Am God, that really, really, you know, I grew up in a religion. I went to a school, and we had services during the week, and we practiced for them, and we practiced the music. And that was one of the songs that was there. And I attended services for that religion until about 2 years ago. And that's what I miss most about those services, the music. So hearing that song really just, And I had been thinking prior to the service about, you know, I did the spiritual practices class. It was awesome. And then we had a final project, and I did this vision board, and it's hanging right there. And now I'm in the art of, I can't even think of what this class is called. The art of uncertainty class. And we have a final project coming up, and it's about vision, and it's about being who we are. And I'm like looking at that, and I'm thinking about this song and what it's bringing back to me. And then this I Choose You, and it's just so amazing to me. And this new thought, this new possibilities, this new everything just brings so much to me. And I just want to say thank you to Reverend Dave and Reverend Bill, and to all of you for being part of my life, and to Alyssa for just touching me so much. Thanks.
That was beautiful. Thank you.
Anyone else? Oh, I see a hand. Catherine. You need to unmute yourself.
Okay, there I am.
Yeah.
I just want to say that I was a little speechless at the topic of the talk today. Just, it was as though it was written for me. I mean, this, right now I'm going through this very huge life transition. And not that I'm lost, but I'm so busy in the actual physical part of the transition. And of course, when your hands are busy, a lot of times your mind is working, and trying to concentrate on keeping my mind focused on the goal. And that's exactly what my last 3 days have been. My topics of my writing have been, what is my new goal? I've been handed an opportunity to actually completely do whatever I want, wide open. So that's why just that realization gave me such a sense of freedom as I'm physically doing this, moving and everything, and packing. And then this talk, it was just like, this is how it's been going for me for like the last 10 days, is this synchronicity from the universe is really directing me, and that this happened and unfolded it's pretty expanding. I feel really great. So I'm so glad I tuned in. I always enjoy this group, and the talk was amazing. I want to say thank you so much. And yeah, the music was wonderful. So thank you so much. You really set the tone for the rest of my day, and gave me some really cool homework to attend to. Thank you.
And thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, then. I believe that's you, Joe.
All right, now I'm unmuted. So our offering affirmation, New Thought Philadelphia is a, I'm sorry. We are grateful for every way that you share. The offering affirmation is in your program or in front of you on the screen. We can say it together. I live in an abundant universe.
Abundant universe.
I am one with the
universe of all God.
I am the center of prosperity. I enjoy the richness of life.
I bless my gift.
My gift.
I share my gift.
Share my gift with gratitude and joy.
I know that as I give,
I do receive.
So it is.
And so it is.
Just a quick reminder that if you are not already subscribed to our e-newsletter, you can do that on the website as well. Thank you.
You can't stand on your own. Feels like there's nowhere else to go. You're not alone. All the odds are against you. They close the door, say you can't get through. But that's not the truth. When there's a will, there's a way. When there's a heart, there's nothing they can say to tear you down, make you feel like no one's on your side. 'Cause I'll be there to tell them we can do better, we can do better. Don't hide, decide we can do better, we can do better. Not us, then who? If not now, then when? We can do better again. You're fighting, there's no use up on the pedestals like they can't hear you. But they do. Make them listen, make a difference, make them see what they've been missing. It's up to you. When there's a will, there's a way. When there's a heart, there's nothing they can say to tear you down, make you feel like no one's on your side. 'Cause I'll be there to tell them we can do better, we can do better. Don't hide, decide we can do better, we can do better. If not us, then who? If not now, then when? We can do better again. You can't stand on your own. Feels like there's nowhere else to go. You're not alone.
Thank you, Alyssa. Thank you so much. I just want to take a moment and bless all of the gifts that have come in and let you know that the divine is working through you as this abundance expresses through New Thought Philadelphia. It supports us and helps us do our work in the world, whether it's virtual or physical. When we get back to that, we do appreciate all the ways that you give. So as we conclude, I invite you, since we can't hold hands and stand in a circle, to reach out to the person next to you on the screen mentally Right? Cross hands, whichever way works for you. And please say after me, I am the love.
I am the love.
I am the light.
I am the light.
I share my love.
I share my love.
And I shine my light.
I shine my light.
And I am a blessing to the world.
And I am a blessing to the world.
And so it is.
So it is.
So it is.
Join us for coffee and conversation after the celebration. Please hang around. I invite you, please take a few moments and look at our poll. It's kind of directing where we're going with classes and some other stuff. So shouldn't take you more than a couple of minutes. If you have any questions, you can just let us all know and we'll help you walk through it. In the meantime, it's open for the free-for-all. Hi, guys.